because you will not get this kind of opportunity next time. So please do use this opportunity wisely. So now let's proceed to our next session. And I would like to invite our final speaker of the day, our very own program coordinator, Professor Emeritus Dato Wira, Dr. Jamil bin Osman. So I would like to give you a brief introduction about him. Prof. Emeritus Dato Wira Jamil was a professor in economics and statistics at the International University of Malaysia, and later as the rector and the CEO at the Ihsan University College, now International University of Sultan Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah in Kedah, Malaysia, 2008 to 2013. Prior to working at Ihsan University, he served as a Dean of Admissions and Record Divisions from 1989 to 1999, Deputy Rector Academic Affairs in 1999 to 2003 at the International Islamic University Malaysia, IIUM, and the Dean of Kuliah of Economics and Management Science, IIUM, from 2006 to 2008. Currently, he is the advisor and the Director of Regional Cooperation of IIIT Southeast Asia region. And I would like to invite Professor Dr. Dato Jamil for presenting his topic.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I wish to welcome all of you to the last session today. In fact, you must be very tired to have 4 speakers this morning, although we have a break in between each speaker. But the topic of my presentation today may be much easier for you as it has been covered by almost all the speakers. Early in the morning, we have the talk by Dr. Munim Jitmut on the concept of Islamic education. I think you still remember how the integration taking place by remembering the Twin Tower in Malaysia and the Twin Tower in America. One is integrated, the other one is not integrated. Then you have the second speaker by Professor Dr. Anis Ahmad, Vice Chancellor of Rifat University, a well-experienced person on the historical and the concept of integration. And he goes back to the 1930s, the scholars like Iqbal, Madudi and the others. And I'm not going into that anymore. And then you have the third speaker by Dr. Ahmad Basit on the concept of secularism, colonization, and imperialism. And this has something to do with what we are having now, why there is a dichotomy in the system of education exists because of the colonization, because of in most of the Muslim countries. And Professor Omar Hassan Kasuli has linked that to Tawhidic approach in Islamization of knowledge. The most important thing is that all the knowledge must be linked to Tawhid. So what I'm going to cover in my lecture is that the introduction to dichotomy in the education system. In the real life, we cannot avoid this dichotomy because in most of the Muslim countries, either you go to the normal school without any Islamic courses, or you go to an Islamic school without learning the modern knowledge, for example, mathematics, science, and so on. So this dichotomy exists. So what I'm going to cover in the content for your information is that we define what dichotomy is. Dichotomy in the system of education, and akli knowledge and integration of knowledge. This has been covered by Professor Omar in great detail. And conventional and Islamic integrated educational institution, university like Islamabad, I think Professor Anis has been talking about this, IIUM, and integrated educational institution in the Muslim world. after IIUM and IIU in Islamabad, we can see many other integrated based education institutions exist in the Muslim world. So the International Islamic University in Malaysia is the model of integrated based education in the Muslim world, beside IIU in Islamabad, because these are the two universities that pioneer in the integration of knowledge. Aim and objective of IUM, the role of IIIT in the development of integration of knowledge in the Muslim world, as what has been highlighted by Prof. Emer just now. Okay, what is the dichotomy? When you talk about dichotomy, we just talk about division or separation. When you have two things, division of two things that are completely different. We talk about halal thing and haram thing. There is a dichotomy, for example. So there is a separation from this one and the other three. So it shows that there is a dichotomy between the two. So in the educational system, in most of the Muslim world, as I mentioned to you, the system of education that separates or divides between the Islamic knowledge and the modern knowledge. You go to any university in the Muslim world, other than the integrated based university, there is a complete separation. This is the model that was set by the Western people. You go to Harvard, if you want to take up Islamic knowledge, you go to Islamic faculty. If you want to take other program, you go to a different faculty. And knowledge of Ukrawi or Emer Akli and knowledge of Tunyawi, Emer Akli. So this is the separation. The knowledge based on Al-Quran and Sunnah and the Prophet, and the knowledge based on the human finding or discovery. So this is the dichotomy that is happening in the system of education in most of the Muslim countries. So we have sciences, medical, health, as has been mentioned by Prof. Emer, and we have business and human sciences. You have engineering and technology. Perhaps these are the modern language, modern knowledge. Perhaps you could not see much different. You go to medical faculty or you go to engineering and technology. Doesn't make much difference if whether they are Islamic or not Islamic. But if you come to business school or any human sciences program, you can see that there is a kind of what is Islamic, what is not Islamic. You talk about Islamic banking, Islamic management, which are totally different from the modern knowledge and the Islamic knowledge. So it shows there is a great dichotomy between the two. I agree with Prof. Emer and Prof. Anil that there is some ethical issues only. So there is an ethical issue. Doesn't matter whatever knowledge that you have. We have Islamic. We have the ethical issues in all the discipline. Emun Akli and Akli, as has been explained by Prof. Emer, there are two kinds of knowledge. Then we merge to integration of knowledge or Islamization of knowledge, which is a synthesis of traditional or usually revealed knowledge and the modern disciplines, such as economics, psychology, and so on. So in IIUM, for example, you can see that these two knowledges are being Islamized and being integrated. And the educational transformation of education in the Muslim countries, maybe the starting could be the First World Conference. There are many scholars has been talking about education transformation, but the real thing that has been discussed among the leaders was in 1977, including our leader at that time, Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, when he was the Minister of Education. He attended this important convention in Makkah. There was some suggestion
Waalaikumsalam, vipi hali?
Yes, because of that, there are many other professors.
Inshallah kumbe ungeniambia mapema maskini, poleni. Ningewachukua wamekuja.
In fact, in 1981, the International Islamic University of Islamabad was established. The discussion started from 1980. But when you look at the internet, they say that it's in 1980. I think the first intake was in 1981. And International Islamic University of Malaysia started in 1982 for the discussion. It was brought to the parliament and so on. But the real establishment was in 1983. So these are the two pioneering universities in the Muslim world. So the establishment of International Islamic University of Malaysia started in 1983. They take the first intake and with about 150 students. I happen to be one of the lecturers, pioneering lecturers and deputy dean in the Faculty of Economics at that time. And this is the new campus of the International Islamic University. It's a mosque, and we have library. We have the administrative building. The concept of IIUM was established that all knowledge are integrated. So the first fully integrated model of education in Malaysia is International Islamic University of Malaysia, which was established in 1983. The conventional Islamic and integrated based university. So we have what we call it fully Islamic university. It's very long time ago in 1975 AD. And fully conventional university came in only after how many years? The fully conventional university in the West. That was Al-Azhar University, fully Islamic university. And then it came the Oxford, Harvard, and all other universities, Cambridge. And in 1983, only the appearance of one fully integrated university in Malaysia. So, which is not easy to establish something that's different from the others. That's why Professor Anis said that political will is very important. So the countries where the political leaders are not supporting, it will be very difficult to come up with this university. And then I give you an example in Sania University College, where I used to be there. Was a full-fledged Islamic university from 1994 to 2007. This university offered all programs in Islamic studies. So there is no other programs except that they have Usuluddin, Sharia, and Arabic. This is what we call the full-fledged Islamic university. This university took the degree from Azhar University. All the students who graduate from this university at that time, from 1994 to 2007, will receive a scroll from Azhar University. And transformation taking place as a full-fledged Islamic university to a fully integrated based university. So in 2008, we started to bring all other faculties to establish all other faculties, medical faculty, hospitality and halal services, engineering, technology, multimedia and creativity, business, Islamic banking and finance, in addition to the Usuluddin, Sharia, Arabic language and Al-Quran.
Arabic. Sorry.
So all these programs are fully integrated. The students in this program are required to take certain number of courses that be offered by the three kuliah here, the three programs here. Same thing in engineering and business. And Islamic banking and finance was one but the popular program in Malaysia and the Muslim world was also offered. So finally, the university became a full-fledged integrated-based university. Established a fully integrated-based institution in the Muslim world after the establishment of IIUI in Islamabad in 1981 and 1983 in Malaysia, and then UNIDA Gontor, and you have IIU Maldives, which is very new, and you have UAE Sudan, International African University in Sudan, and you have USIM in Malaysia, Institute Islam Malaysia, and you have Quiz in Malaysia also. You have UIN in Indonesia. You have UNISHAM from Insania converted into a full-fledged university, become UNISHAM. We have UIN in Malaysia and Tazkiyah in Bogor, Indonesia. And we have IIUI, the latest one in Indonesia. So all these, not all universities are being listed here, but there are many other countries that they have what they call it, fully integrated based university. That's how the institution developed in the Muslim world. IUM model of integrated based university. This is IUM campus. What it means by a fully integrated university. All the subjects taught in the university are based on integration or Islamization of knowledge. So to have this kind of university, as what has been mentioned by Prof. Anis this morning, we must have the aim and objective of the university, and leadership is very important. If the leaders is not interested in managing the integrated based university, it will not be successful. Alhamdulillah, in Malaysia, IIUM being fully supported by our political leaders because they see the great potential of IIUM in the country. And then on the part of the university, they have to develop curriculum. They have to develop human resource, and then teaching and evaluation, textbook and teaching material, and the kind of student that you're going to take in, and many other things. So Professor Omar has mentioned about textbook and teaching material. So the lecturers must be given the proper teaching material in order for them to teach to the student. Human resource is very important. They must be trained in the program integrated base. They must be doing, those who have been doing conventional courses have to take up Islamic courses so that all of them will be fully equipped with the integrated knowledge. So this is the model of IUM, and philosophy of the university is to achieve the stated objective. IUM adopts a unified philosophy of education approach of integration and Islamization of knowledge. The aim and objective of the IUM, university's ultimate aim was to produce a well-rounded professional imbued with Islamic values and ethics who would develop the Muslim Ummah and achieve progress in harmony with Islamic ideal. So this is the aim and objective and the philosophy of IIUM as a model of integrated based university. On the IIUM model of integration, what we have in the curriculum, first when we set up the university, I was in the early batch in 1983. There was no students yet. What we did, we developed the curriculum. It's not that easy because we were the pioneer in the country to develop the curriculum. We have to look only at the program at other conventional universities. There was no content of Islamic. So curriculum to develop the skill, knowledge, and personality. So we have religious sciences, Quran, Sunnah, Tawheed, Islamic worldview, Arabic. So these are the components of the program. And we have the modern sciences, human sciences, social science, natural, applied, and technological sciences. So there are two kind of knowledge that will be acquired by the student. So model of integration, the method, we have the formal classroom, no problem. Courses on religious sciences, religious concept and courses. Non-formal education, we have group study, USRA, and this kind of thing. And then the methods for the modern sciences, still we have the formal and informal, and also the group discussion we have at the university faculty level. So the Kuliah of Economics Management, where I used to be as a lecturer, the dean of the Kuliah. So in that Kuliah, for example, an integrated curriculum structure of Bachelor of Economics program and Philosophy of Education at IUM. In order to achieve the goals, the IUM curriculum combined courses in Islamic civilization and the worldview, which are made compulsory to all students. So this is one thing. The framework of the Bachelor of Economics program, every course is presented in the form of an Islamic perspective. Western economic theories will be presented and then critically analyzed from the Islamic worldview. And then integrations of economic and integrated curriculum structure of Bachelor of Economics. Is repeating. Sorry. The second one, the framework of the Bachelor of Economics, the program generally adopts a comparative approach. For example, you're teaching one course where the course is not in line with Islamic values, you make some comparison and try to find the solutions, how to Islamize the concept. And the programs hope to devalue economic concept from all alien values and infuse Islamic values where possible. The framework of the Bachelor of Economics program as follows. The program has certain core subjects in Aqidah, Sharia, and so on. And the Arabic language is the central to the objective of the program and Akhlaq. And then the number 6, after strong foundation in Islamic perspective in economics, the 4th year courses are more conventional in nature. So less integration taking place when they go to year 4, because most of the courses in the year 4 may be more technical in nature. Okay. Number 7, to ensure correct understanding, a limited number of options are offered. So the student will be given the options in the process. So we have the Kuliah required courses. I think you look at this could be similar in other programs at the conventional university. The statistical method, business mathematics, principle microeconomic, principle macro, foundation Islamic economic, fake for economic 1, fake economic 2. But the teaching of statistics and business mathematics is not so much to bring in the Islamic values. But for the principle of micro and macroeconomics, these are quite heavy loaded courses where the lecturers are required to be critical in teaching this, where Islamic values can be brought into micro and macroeconomics. And the foundation Islamic economy is purely in Islamic courses. The department required courses, we have intermediate macro, intermediate macro, microeconomics, Malaysian economy, econometrics, money and banking, Islamic banking and finance, public finance, fake and history of Islamic thought. So most of these courses will be required to bring in Islamic values into their teaching. So the Malaysian economy, perhaps the situation in Malaysia becoming more moving toward Islamic economy, for example, Islamic banking, finance, and so on, has started at that time. Econometrics and all the others. And then we have department specialization. We have international package, international economic, Islamic, and all these courses. And we have department specialization, economic development, industrial, economic, human resource. All these require some kind of integration when you teach. The student can also specialize in Islamic economics because they have taken certain number of courses in Islamic economics. So by additional numbers of credit from here, they can specialize in Islamic. They have to take some of these courses. And then elective courses, we have mathematical economic and ASEAN economic and so on. And the other thing is that when we first established, we have a double degree program because most of our students in the Faculty of Economics will be taking courses of revealed knowledge from Kuliah Islamic Revealed Knowledge. So they have certain number of courses of Islamic courses, and the student can have a double degree by taking additional courses in the Kuliah Revealed Knowledge. Then they get 2 degrees, Bachelor of Economics and Bachelor of Islamic Revealed Knowledge. Although there are not many who have done that, and finally the Kuliah did not intend to proceed. Similar approach done in the Kuliah Economic Management with other programs, where Bachelor Business Administration and Bachelor Accounting, similarly done with like economic program. The aims and objective university. The university's ultimate aim was to produce well-rounded professionals imbued with Islamic values and ethics who would develop the Muslim Ummah and achieve progress in harmony with Islamic ideals. So this is our ambition is that we have more of our graduates to become the future leaders in their country. So we have students coming from all over 120 countries at that time. So they go back and become the leader of their country. I'll give you an example. Dr. Ahmad Ali Al-Basit was among the pioneers in the Faculty of Human Sciences. And he is now the deputy dean and become the leader of the Muslim in Bosnia. And then coming up tomorrow, we have Professor Dato Sanu Kutub, formerly a graduate from IIIM as well. And he served in IIIM as deputy rector and is now the minister and the secretary general of Fiqh Academy in Jeddah. So this is the kind of people that we produce. Philosophy of the university. To achieve the stated objective, IUM adopts a unified philosophy of education approach of integration and Islamization of knowledge. So all the programs in the university are being integrated and Islamized. What is the role of IIIT in educational reform in the Muslim countries or in the Muslim communities? In Malaysia, we have the International Institute of Islamic Thought, which was established in 1981 as a privately held non-profit organization. Its headquarters is in Hampton, Virginia, in Washington. The institution was founded in 1981 in Pennsylvania. So this morning you have seen that Prof. Anis was one of the movers for the establishment of the International Institute of Islamic Thought. But he did mention Dr. Ismail Faruq, Al-Mahum, Professor Dr. Ismail Faruqi, Professor Dr. Jamal Bazanji, Dr. Tahir Jabir Awani, and Dr. Ahmad Tutonji, Dr. Abdul Hamid Abu Sulaiman, and Dr. Hisham Mutalib. Dr. Abdul Hamid Abu Sulaiman was in Malaysia as director of IUM for 10 years. And Dr. Hisham is the current president and chairman of IIIT in Washington. And Dr. Ahmad Tutonji is currently in Istanbul. So all these people are the pioneers in the establishment of the IIIT in Washington. What are the activities of IIIT? The IIIT concerned with the general issues of Islamic thought and education, focus on integration and Islamization of knowledge and educational reform. Our program today is fully sponsored by IIIT. So this is a normal program. As I did mention to you this morning, we already have 9 to 9 courses, program like this. And this is the second level of the program where we move to integration and Islamization. Our aim is to produce the future leaders. And you are going to be the future leaders, inshallah. The activities IIIT on the translation of book. The book has been written in Arabic or English, been translated to 40 languages in the whole world. Conferences, seminar, workshop on Islamization and integration of knowledge, curriculum reform, and textbook writing, as what has been mentioned by Prof. Omar. We are doing almost 100 books as a teaching materials, or we call it textbook, for the reference of the lecturers who will be teaching the courses on Islamization of knowledge either in IUM or any part of the world. And provide funding for research fund in various disciplines, publication of books on various disciplines in English, Arabic, and Malay, and human resource development by providing scholarship and grants. There are hundreds of students who are receiving full scholarship from IIIT to study the bachelor, master's, and PhD at many universities in the Muslim world. And in East and South Asia, we call it IIIT of East and South Asia, where the headquarters is in Kuala Lumpur, and we have Indonesia, Japan, Korea, Hong Kong, China, Cambodia, Brunei, Myanmar, Singapore, and Thailand. So most of the students who participated in this workshop, they are coming from these countries. And other than that, we have people from Africa, from Bangladesh. They are in different regions of IIIT. Like Bangladesh is East Asia. Most of the program that conducted here, this is a regional program, for all the students in various countries. Today, we have about 330 students participated in this camp. And book in brief, they have produced book in brief, very small book, which has been reduced from the big one, the thick book, into a smaller one, like a summary of the thicker book. And these are some of the books that more than 800 books related to Islamization of knowledge published by IIIT. So these are among those who have been written. And then in all disciplines. And some of this book has been placed in as a e-book with the e-book company in Malaysia. And this is the textbook writing project, as has been mentioned just now, in various disciplines. IIIT is sponsored by giving the money to the authors and to publish the book. And then we also translated more than 40 languages. This is an example. In Japan, we have one book being translated over there for the consumption of the very small number of Muslims in Japan. So, IIIT scholarship for bachelor's and master's, field on Islamization and integration of knowledge, university that offer program on Islamization of knowledge. So this is scholarship that been given. And other projects that you can see the translation, teachers training. For example, in some universities, teachers are not being trained how to teach courses with Islamization of knowledge. So IIIT conduct such kind of training by inviting experienced teachers from universities where they used to teach the topic on Islamization of knowledge. For example, teaching Islamic economics. IUM has a very well-established faculty of Islamic economics, So we give training to other universities and providing research fund for students and lecturers. And lecturers who are interested for research, we will provide fund for them to do it. And textbook writing, or we call it teaching material project, curriculum development for the new universities who don't have the curriculum yet. We will help them to develop the curriculum. So conferences, seminar, workshop on Islamization knowledge are taking place. So we used to have, before the COVID, we used to have meeting everywhere. This is one of the informal taking pictures in Aceh. I can't remember what year. Pak Habib will remember this date. We have Pak Habib here, Professor Sayyah is here, Pak Siddiq and myself, Brother Yusuf Yu from Hong Kong, and we have Brother Amin B in this workshop also from Korea, Mr. Nur Azlin from Brunei, and Sister Asnawi from Philippines, and many others. Okay.
Qadir from Cambodia.
Yeah, from Brother Farid from Cambodia. Where is it?
No, in the right hand is near Dato, right? Dato.
Oh, okay.
Dato is Abdul Qadir, my representative.
Yeah, Ustaz Farid from Cambodia. So this is a historical picture because the reason why we have in Aceh, because Aceh is a great potential to do the Islamization process. We have many students from Aceh participating in this program. So we conducted also seminar everywhere, psychology in Islam. This is the one that in Indonesia, we have Pak Habib as the moderator for Professor Malik Badri. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is the visualization of